Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life Special Audiobook by Brian Tracy. Chapter 5, Taking Charge of Your Life Part A. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let us move forward with strong and active faith. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The Great Truth. You can learn anything you need to learn, to accomplish any goal you can set for yourself. This principle offers a way for you to take complete control over your future. When I was young and struggling, failing, and frustrated, this principle came along to change my life. Generally speaking, no one is smarter than you, and no one is better than you. Just because someone is doing better than you doesn't mean that he is better than you. It usually means that he has just learned how to succeed in his particular field before you have. And whatever someone else has done, you can probably do as well. There are few limits. This is not an easy rule, but it is definitely simple. You, too, can learn anything you need to learn to accomplish any goal you can set for yourself. Once I learned this idea, I was unafraid to change jobs, and even industries. I learned how to sell advertising, investments, automobiles, and office supplies. I worked in real estate sales and leasing, and then real estate development. Then I engaged in importation and distribution, then banking, printing, consulting, and eventually speaking, writing, recording, and corporate training. Learn what you need. Every time I entered into a new field, I went out and learned everything I possibly could about that field, and then applied it as fast as I could. At first, I checked out the books from the local library. Then, I bought my own books and built my own library. I listened to every audio cassette I could buy on the subject, and attended every seminar. When I was 31, I studied and prepared myself, and then took the entrance exams to get into a major university. I invested several thousand hours of study to get a business degree. I learned the intricacies of micro and macroeconomic theory, statistics, probability theory, management science, and accounting. I studied marketing, management, administration, and strategic planning. I became devoted to the concept of learning. The great mystery. I thought I had come late to the party, that everyone knew that learning was the key to the future. I was amazed and perplexed to find, when I looked around me, that very few other people were doing what I was doing. Most people, by their own admission, were living lives of quiet desperation, in Thoreau's words. They were working at jobs they didn't like, earning salaries far below their potentials, staying in relationships they didn't enjoy, and living lives that gave them no satisfaction. I tried to tell them that the way out was up. I told anyone who would listen that they could learn anything they needed to learn to achieve any goal they could set for themselves. There were no limits. But few people seemed to be listening. Reasons for everything. We live in an orderly universe. Everything happens for a reason. When I found that the people around me didn't seem to be interested in changing their situations, I began looking for the reasons underlying their behaviors. And I found them. Psychologists and scholars have spent many years researching the psychology of success and the psychology of failure. And most of the studies conclude that there are two major mental blocks that hold people back. The first is what Dr. Martin Seligman of the University of Pennsylvania, in his book, Learned Optimism, Knopf, 1990, calls learned helplessness. According to his research, this attitude afflicts fully 80% of the population to some degree, and for many people it is their major obstacle to success and fulfillment. Feeling trapped. As a result of childhood experiences, especially destructive criticism and early failure experiences, people eventually reach the point where they feel helpless to change or to take action in different areas of their lives. The majority of men and women feel overwhelmed by things that seem to happen to them, and the many things going on around them. They feel that there is nothing they can do to influence events or to improve their lives. The most obvious proof that an individual is experiencing learned helplessness is the repeated use of the words "I can't." People feel that they can't lose weight, can't get a better job, can't improve or change their relationships, can't increase their incomes, can't upgrade their knowledge and skills, and can't do many other things that they really want to do. They have tried unsuccessfully so many times in the past that they have come to conclude automatically that there is very little they can do to change the future. They become passive and accepting of their situations. Their lives consist of getting up in the morning, going to work, socializing a bit, coming home, eating dinner, watching television for 4 or 5 hours, and then going off to bed. The trap of complacency. The second mental condition that holds people back is called the comfort zone. Human beings are creatures of habit. They begin an activity of any kind and they soon become comfortable with it. They then become extremely reluctant to change what they are doing, or change the situation they are in, even if they are not particularly happy or satisfied with it. They become somewhat content and complacent. Eventually, they become afraid to change, for any reason. They get into a rut, and the longer they stay in their rut, the deeper it grows, until they finally give up all hope of ever changing or improving their lives. Learned helplessness, in combination with the comfort zone, creates a person who feels trapped and helpless, weak and powerless, and unable to take control or to make any real difference in his life. The individual in this mental state then strives for security rather than opportunity, and often feels like a victim of circumstances over which he has no control. No real limits. But the reality is that there are no real limits on what you can accomplish with your life. Within reason, whatever someone else has done, you can do as well. The very fact that you can set a clear goal for yourself means that you probably have the ability to achieve it. Nature does not give you a burning desire for something without also equipping you with the talents and abilities you need to acquire it. If you think back over your life, you will recall that almost everything that you ever really wanted long enough and hard enough you finally achieved. You are not helpless, and you are not stuck in a rut. Your true potential is limited only by your own imagination and determination.